That's one of the fastest growing parts that we're seeing right now in terms of embellishment sales is sports. Are you guys seeing any of that? Are you guys working with any of the sports teams or the NCAA?
We're not, but we're mostly still doing it with marketing agencies, things like that.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
I'm interested to hear how other people are doing this, but we have you got a gator.
I gotta show. I went to the University of Florida. This is an awesome company who's doing all the tags for the players when they go to the NCAA to go see a game, and it's all embellished for that game. So using really cool effects and foils. But I hope that they can join the call today. It's really a really phenomenal business for them. So.
Oh, that's great. I have a really good friend that went to Florida State. I'm sorry, he's a Florida State guy, but he's he's a Seahawk player.
Very cool. Yeah. So listen, guys, let's kick off the conversation about embellishments. I think we can get started now. We have about 12 people that should be coming in the next 30 minutes or so. But I think one of the big questions that we have right now, are you guys seeing any trends out there? You guys are both hitting the pavement. You're seeing what people are liking and not liking. What kind of trends are you guys kind of starting to pick up on?
Well, I'll just say this. The method that we're doing to sell this right now is the same thing we've been doing. And that is we try to get somebody to send us print files. And because we have KM1, so what we do is we say, give us your print files, and what we'll do is we'll print it on our inkjet device. We'll explain to them why they should take a look at inkjet, and then we embellish it and we send it back to them. And so they see what looks good on the KM1 inkjet, and then they see different embellishment ideas, and that's what we do, and it's been working. And if somebody has a better idea, let me know.
All right. How about you, Bill? What are some of the trends that you're seeing?
So I'll echo that. First of all, using this as a foot in the door because it's something new and different.
Right.
Everybody's looking for something new and different. They want to, how can I be different than all of my competitors? So that's the first thing. It's a foot in the door because it's curiosity. And it's tough these days for a lot of people to get appointments. There's just too much going on, for buyers. So foot in the door to get the meeting. And then to Al's point, we do exactly the same thing. It's so effective to put something physically in front of them to let them see what the difference is. And it's very effective. We've also, I'm sure everybody's done that, but we created a pretty cool marketing piece to show them as well. So it's a book, basically, it's got a sleeve over it, Myers, but it's a book, that looks like this. And we get to the embellishment section. It's very cool. I mean, we've got
Oh yeah.
a look, that whole thing is all completely embellished, and then lots and lots of different samples. So being able to show them those ideas, because that's a lot of what we're doing is showing them ideas.
Yeah.
And then they take it to their, to their graphics and marketing people, and you hope that it flies.
So I guess that's the next big question is, when you're selling embellishments, you kind of have to also sell their design department or whatever agency they're using. How difficult is it to get those people to understand, do you guys have any tips and tricks that you're using to get those people how to design for these new machines?
We don't really have any tricks, but what we typically do is we oftentimes we'll show them the samples that we've created, and they just go with whatever we showed them.
Right.
We also have a lookbook, just like what Bill has there, that we send out that's got embellishments everywhere. I'll say this, that we may be our prep people may be talking to some of their prep people, because I really don't handle accounts myself anymore.
Right.
So I'm not sure exactly what my sales folks are doing, if they're getting involved with the other team's design group or not. But I know with some of our local clients, we have one of our biggest clients is Savannah College of Art and Design, and we show them different ways to do things because they use it as well a bit.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort, more so on the technical side. What we once we to Al's point, either show them, this, they say, hey, that looks great, or they ask us, hey, can you tweak that, do this or that, or they totally have their own idea of what what they want it to look like. They'll make their attempt at the art files, and then the collaboration just comes in technically making it work.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't found them relying a ton on us to completely do their design for them.
Now, Bill, you work primarily with packaging companies or mostly commercial print work?
Primarily packaging.
Right. So you're doing a lot of that pack.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine who was the head of R&D at Shutterfly, and when they brought in digital embellishments, I think they brought in a couple of Scodexes back in the day. Their big thing is they did focus groups, and I kind of wanted to throw this out. This was new to me. Is they did focus groups with people of different ages, men, women, the whole thing. And what they found out is that at a certain thickness of polymer, the product went from looking valuable to looking cheap. And the thicker that it was, the thicker that the cheaper that it actually ended up looking. So right now, if you order anything from like Shutterfly, nothing's going to be over, I think, 40 microns. Have you guys found that in the field too? Is that something that your customers are reacting to? Because in my mind, is always the thicker the better, right? It's that's the way I always figured. Even if it's what do you think? What do you think, Al?
That surprises me
Yeah.
because I would think the same thing, that the more you put on, the more impact it has. And, the more impact it has, typically the more expensive it's perceived. So
Right.
that's news to me.
Right. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Joe. What's up, buddy? Welcome. Do you guys know Joe?
Hey, Joe, Al
Hey.
Kennickell here.
Joe is well, while Joe's figuring out he's on mute. Joe, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, there I am.
Hey,
I
welcome.
think I met a couple of these people before. Yeah. Hey, Bill White. I'm Joe DeBoyd with NAPCO USA.
Hey,
We
Joe,
are
great
a
to meet you.
custom packaging company up in Sparta, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And then you know Al, right? Al.
I met Al. Yep.
Yes.
Al, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Sorry I'm late.
No. Well, thanks for coming. We're giving this a shot. We're seeing if there's value to getting people who are selling this stuff on a daily basis together and share some tips and tricks. We're actually just talking about the Shutterfly example, where everything over when they did focus groups, everything over 40 microns, the focus group tested that it cheapified the product. So Shutterfly doesn't do anything over 40 microns, which blew me
Interesting.
away. Because I always thought, yeah, people like that 80, 90 micron look. But Bill, you were gonna actually tag onto that subject if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, just what we found is kind of interesting. Being on the packaging side, some of these runs, fortunately, have been really long. And what we found is when we went over 40 microns, there were some technical issues with getting that to print consistently. Um, for a few different reasons. And so ours have been more technical than they have been, but I certainly haven't heard,
Interesting.
that's fascinating.
Yeah, they say it looked too plasticky.
Interesting.
That was the feedback that coming back. Under 40 micron, it was just subtle enough to show high-end perceived value was through the roof under 40 microns from that 20 to 40 micron. And it's good for like you guys because that's cheaper for you to run and faster for you to run. Joe, were you on the designer meetup last week? We talked about this with the designers.
Yeah, not last week. I was not on that call.
What do you think about this thickness, this optimal thickness for people?
It's interesting. That's the kind of data we have to take and embrace and go with if that's what the market is demanding or the market is telling us. Like Bill and Al, hey, the more the better, right? The deeper, the more tactile, that touch is what we're looking for. So I love the more micron depth on the UV. I guess it depends on your package as well. What you're presenting, what the artwork creative looks like, but I love that tactical feel.
Yeah. Congratulations by bringing in. Now you have digital die cutting too, if I'm not mistaken.
It's on a boat. Well, it's getting ready to leave Israel now. Hopefully, it gets on a boat before things get a little worse over there. It sounds like it might be in the next few days, unfortunately. So yes, we're trying to get on the boat this week and get it over here and install. But we're ready to go. We got the space all cleared out. We got the electric all installed. So we're just waiting for it to arrive.
Very cool.
So that's going to be the last piece of the puzzle for us. So the tooling is what's killing us on short run volume. They love digital print, they love the digital embellishment, but once you have to start buying a die, it just adds so much money to the unit pricing.
Yeah. How about Bill, Al? Have you guys played around with digital die cutting, like the lasers or the that kind of stuff, or no?
No, we haven't, but I would, I would like to know more about it. Who makes the machine?
It's called Hycon, and they're headquartered in Israel.
Okay.
It's a high-speed laser cutter.
How many? Can you give me some idea of how you measure the speed on that?
It depends on the intricacy of the shape. A basic, easy shape, they're saying 5,000 sheets an hour, but I wouldn't believe that. Because you're gonna put multiple up on the sheet. And what we do, we'll have multiples up on the sheet. So we're thinking about average about 2,000 to 3,000 sheets an hour.
Okay, what's the biggest sheet size?
I can do a 40-inch sheet.
Really?
So 40-inch by
28 by 40. It'll feed 28 inside. It feeds very similar to how the MGI and the Scotix feed on the short side.
Right. That was our issue in the past, is we were waiting for it to be a larger format, to be able to take a 28 by 40 or larger. I'm trying to remember, wasn't that a smaller sheet size up until recently?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay,
Bill.
yeah, I played with it in the past, and we were waiting for it to get closer to a 28 by 40 or larger sheet so that we could run multiple up.
Well, I think good to hear. These are good conversations, because I think one of the big challenges you guys are running into is when you embellish something, you have to be careful on how you finish it, right? You can't just stack those things up in a guillotine like you could on regular print, and finding, obviously, sheet to sheet is the best, but if you can do sheet to sheet digital, I mean that's going to be a really impressive 1, 2, 3 punch that you've got going there, Joe.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. We really feel that this is the last piece of the puzzle to get us over the hump on our lower volume short run program. All these pieces are coming together. It's just taking a few years to put together, but that's what we're thinking.
So Joe, you're really just so the other guys who don't know, you're really pushing digital packaging, right?
Correct.
What kind of trends are you seeing in digital packaging? What kind of stuff are you seeing?
Well, we're still seeing a lot of influencer boxes, right? So that's short run, 100 here, 500, sometimes 1,000, but very rarely. Influencer boxes, cannabis packaging is a big deal for us. Wine and spirits, craft spirits, smaller brands that they can't afford the dyes that they need to put that foil embellishment on their boxes and stand out on the shelf. Like the Bacardis and the other big boys do. So they need that shelf presence. They need to catch people's eyes. So they need that digital embellishment, short run, lower volume. So wine and spirits because it's a luxury item, right? So we're looking at luxury items. So some of those bourbons and high-end tequilas, they make it in much smaller batches. They don't have the 100,000 bottle runs. They have a lot smaller runs that they need some custom packaging for. So
that's cool. Yeah, we're gonna tactical tequila here soon, so hopefully maybe we can work together on the label.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
What are you printing that your short run stuff on?
And a CAM1.
Okay, yeah, same here.
Yeah. So that's, I think, really interesting. Let me ask you a question. Like, we are seeing since COVID, a lot of people quit their jobs and start up their own companies, and they're making custom craft beers or liquor. A lot of them are making, soaps and home products. Is there any way to kind of tap into, you guys think, that Shopify environment where there's these short runs products and boxes that they need to look luxurious even though they don't have the luxury budget? Are you guys seeing any of that or not really?
Well, it comes and goes. I mean, they all have they all want the box, they all want that packaging until they see the price tag. You know, if they're doing 200 candles or 500 candles, a specialty candle, and they want a nice secondary packaging for it, they got to raise the unit price of that candle if they want to include a nice luxury box with it, especially one with embellishment.
Yeah.
So you guys are both into packaging. One question I have is, I know digital die cutting would be a really big deal for this. Are you currently just doing everything on like your standard die cutter right now?
I'll answer that first, Bill. We have a table cutter. We have a Kongsberg table cutter. We do super small runs on, right? 100 or less. We'll put it on the Kongsberg and table cut it.
And that's just like a Zun, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That's Zun's competitor, correct. And then the larger stuff, we'll actually order steel roll die and die cut it. It just depends where that volume is and how intricate it is. And that's why that laser die cutting is coming into play.
Yeah, same thing. We have Zun tables, and then we'll put them. We do have some smaller die cutter. It's more of a clamshell die cutter, so we can do a small kind of one-up die, and we're just trying to walk them into scaling into those longer runs. This is what we're all looking for, right?
Sure, right, exactly.
I mean, is there any other kind of finishing equipment you have to have besides like the Zund and the die cutter? I got 2 die cutters, and is there anything else you have to be in that industry, that business?
Typically, you need a gluer. You need a holder gluer.
Holder
gluer. If you're going to have, decent runs and packaging, you really need holder gluer or multiple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we never gone in that direction, but I've got 2 kids getting in the business. They may want to go in that direction one day, but we never have. We've been just strictly a commercial printer for our entire existence.
Well, this young blood can help you have the energy to push change. I mean, that's a great way to get them started. But I was always surprised that people like Instagram and TikTok, like you look at the amount of people that are selling stuff on these platforms. Imagine you had a way to order your boxes that you're selling a product on Instagram through Instagram. And I was always wondering, how a printer has anybody called Instagram and say, hey, listen, you guys can offer to do the boxes for these products that are being offered. And that goes across all the different medias too. I mean, there's got to be some opportunities to get into that world.
Yeah, there probably is. I mean, we're all looking for that one great idea that nobody's thought of yet that we can run with.
I have one of those for you guys if you want. It's so
like
simple. All right, so have you guys been playing with AI design at all or no?
We have.
No?
But mostly it's been on our wide format division. When we wrap a lot of trucks and tankers and stuff like that, and we're using it back there, but not so much anywhere else.
So let me show you one business idea I think that needs to happen. Like this is just, I'm going to share my screen if that's okay with you guys. So this came from my wife's idea. I go, God, this is genius. If somebody could put this together. All right, let's do a painting. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, what do we want to do a painting of? What are we inspired by?
Well, Al's got that golf shirt on, so he's got the RBC Heritage shirt on. So let's go with a golf course.
I like that.
Make a painting of a golf course. Beautiful sunset overlooking ocean. In what style? In the style of Andy Warhol, whatever. Oh. So create an image.
You can't use Andy Warhol.
That's out.
What other style of paintings are there? Impressionist.
Yeah.
You can do that too. All right, so it's going to create the image. The problem, so my wife makes this awesome looking poster. I just think it looks phenomenal. And it's going to just go ahead and create this. But the problem is that it's low resolution, right? So you can't
Right.
really push.
That's what I was just thinking about.
Right. So here's your image. This is all AI generated. This could be a cartoon. This could be whatever you want. You now have these AI upscalers that could turn a 5 by 5 square into a B2, a 20 by 29 sheet. And if you're able to create and then send this to print and get, imagine a 29 by 40 inch poster of the image that you created with your signature on the bottom right hand of this using upscalers like, and I'll give you guys the name of that. I think that's a phenomenal way to start a business because you're charging $100 for that poster, $200 for that poster, and it costs you a couple cents to do. And all you have to do is basically link, and this has nothing to do with embellishments, I apologize, but this basically just link an AI image to an upscaler to give you a high resolution file to your Cam1, to your jet varnish, to a frame, and you send it out for $200. That's just a business in a box right there.
Hey, well, let me just say about that. One of the problems we've had over the years, we do a lot of wall murals, and people will give us an image, and we had the problem where we say that image is not going to blow up to be 20 feet long and 10 feet high.
Right.
We use AI now to just convert any photo to where it now works at any size. So
Yep.
that has saved us a tremendous amount of back and forth with customers trying to come up with an image that actually works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we use that same technology out. It's been great.
Yeah, we have we had a whole episode on that on our designer meetups where sometimes even the landscape, the way that the image works is you literally just, even though if you blow it up it won't be long enough. So now you can use generative AI to basically, like if you have the front of a horse and it's cut off, you can just keep pulling it till it, and it's going to generate the back of the horse, and it's going to generate the rest of the image.
Great.
Based on what's on the actual image. So you can actually use AI now to make whatever dimensions and create visual that doesn't exist.
You know, one thing I think I'm going to try that I haven't tried yet, and I'm surprised I haven't, is have my team put in an image of a front cover of a brochure and say to AI, give me some interesting ways I could use embellishment to improve this image.
Believe it or not, we're creating a product like that. We're working on that now.
That's something that would make it, because I mean, we're all looking for that. Every now and then you come across with a great way to use some embellishments.
Yeah.
And it blows the customer's mind. But if I could be generating
that's funny you say
a lot of different ideas pretty quickly, that'd be a nice tool to have.
So we're teaching the model now. We have Matt Redbear who's teaching the model how to design for embellishments. So we're downloading his brain into our software, and Q1, Q2 next year, we're actually going to have a new thing comes out where basically you just upload your file. You say what kind of, I want gold foil or holographic or clear or whatever, and it's going to create the mask for you, and you'll be able to see it in 3 dimensions and play with that mask to see what the reflection will look like. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying. That's 100% where we think the market's going to go as well.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd definitely like to use it when you have it ready to go.
Of course, Al. As always.
Great to
You'll
see.
be one of our primo beta testers.
There you go.
I have to say for a second, this is just wild because back, in the late 80s, early 90s, I was with a really cool digital imaging lab in Seattle, and we spent a lot of time with images. And this is fairly new technology, right? And the images weren't high enough resolution. And we were a beta site for Kodak, different Kodak technology and software. And I remember Live Picture, and a lot of that was about trying to res up these images, with smart interpolation, especially Live Picture. You kind of, toss it in there and let it try and do a smart interpolation. It did a pretty good job, but it was never just perfect, right? Never really there. And from there to what we're doing now is just a mind blower, right?
Yeah,
It's just,
it is. Certainly is.
yeah, it's great. It's just great to see that over the years.
Yeah, I agree. It's fun to see how, and it's going just so fast. It's I have 10 or 12 tools that are AI driven that I use every day. And if I'm not on top of it, like all of a sudden I find out this new one just came out that does this other stuff, replaces 4 of my other ones. So it's just moving at such a high speed. It's I could understand if you're not into it, it could be dizzying. Like how quick this stuff is developing.
Yeah, well, let me know, Kevin, when you get a minute, which AI upscaler you're using that you think works best. I'd love to make a note of that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll send you a couple links that you guys can look at after the call.
Hey, and if any of you have come up with a way to use AI that maybe other people hadn't thought of yet, that's really had an impact on your business, I'd love to hear that too. I mean, we're using it for the normal stuff. We're using it to write emails and letters and design things. I've used it to try to crunch some numbers to see how effective that would be.
It is. The
But
new 4.0 ChatGPT is very good with numbers.
yeah, and we've all got the paid version, so we're I try to use it every day, but in the last I've been doing a lot of traveling, and I just haven't done it for a few weeks, and now I'm thinking, okay, I need to get back into this because my rule was try to use it for something every day, because I do believe that the people using AI and really know how to use it and use it on a regular basis are going to they're going to have a big advantage over the people that have their head in the sand. And by the way, I'll say this: I have a lot of friends that just don't want AI to be anything important because they don't want to have to learn anything new, and they're completely ignoring AI at their own peril.
At their own peril. You said that. It makes you to keep that word in front of them. They don't embrace it, they're going to be left behind. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Was it said it's that AI won't take your job, but somebody who knows how to use AI will?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what I've been to a couple of these national conferences, and what they're saying is AI won't replace people, but people using AI will replace people not using AI.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, AI is going to replace people.
Eventually, yes, it will.
Yeah, I mean, we had a national. I was at a conference, believe it or not, in Singapore, and we had a guy in there who was the national marketing guy for HP, and he said that like they had a tremendous number of translators on staff, and they were able to get rid of most of them.
Yeah, for sure.
And other people at HP said to him, "Is AI going to replace me?" And he said, "AI may replace you, and it may replace me." So there's a lot of people that are there's a lot of things that you don't need people for, and and it's neat. Now you can't say, "Gee, that's terrible." It's just the way it is. There's a way people might want things to be, and then there's the way they're going to be. And if people can use AI to cut their expenses, be they man hours or people, they're going to do it. And
Sure.
that's just the way of the world. That's how business functions.
Yep.
Yeah, I fully agree. Yeah, you guys, I don't know if you're playing with perplexity.ai yet, but that's a great one. It's connected to the internet, so it's live searching. There's a free version as well. Yeah, a lot of creative content stuff. If you want to do voices, if you want to do, you can actually put in like a 30-minute talking sample of yourself into 11 Labs is another one. And then you can just make videos of yourself giving speeches, or blogs, or talking about the market. And it's you talking with your voice. It's getting scary how good these tools
So
are.
Perplexity and 11 Labs, those are the two you would use that for?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, Perplexity is great for all around. I use that now more than ChatGPT, and I have the paid version as well, just because it's connected live to the internet. So if you go to Perplexity and you say, who is Al Kennickell, it'll give you a whole breakdown of who Al is, everything he's done, in a very, very cool, smart way. So there's that. And then there's design tools. People like Adobe Express and Firefly are using more and more tools for quick masking, for image generation, for for that kind of stuff as well. So, yeah, man, it's incredible how quickly these things are moving.
I think one thing that we have to do in business, and I've been reminded of it today, is I have been insisting that my people use AI, but I've kind of taken my eye off the ball with everybody else, and they may be using it a lot, or they may not be, but I think we have to make sure that we have our people using these tools, because once again, people that work for us that use AI are going to be better than people that work for us that don't use AI. And I think it takes discipline from the top down to make sure that your team doesn't take its eye off the ball and miss a way to really be more effective.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. Like, if you know how to use it, like a lot of people will just go in and ask AI to do random stuff. But if I have a customer, I'm going to teach a ChatGPT specific for that customer. I'm going to put everything I could find on that customer into that GPT. And when I want to create a proposal, if I want to create an email, or if I want to create a strategy document, it knows exactly who I'm talking about, how I'm talking about them, what's important to them. You could teach these models how to do separate different things. And that's something that I use a lot myself, is I have maybe 30 or 40 different GPTs that I use for different things that I have trained. So if you put the timing in to train it correctly, like I have a lawyer. Like I'll get a contract, I'll drop it into my GPT, that's my lawyer. It'll pull out all the analysis, and then I'll send that to my real lawyer. He's like, this is amazing. My lawyer's like, how did you do this? This is better than what I would do. It's like, I need a new lawyer. So it's even lawyers can't believe the analysis that's coming from these things.
So what I did was I taught AI everything about our business, including people by name.
Right.
And everything we tried to accomplish. And then when I'll ask it questions every now and then, it will come back with an answer, and it will mention, my kids by name, saying this would be really effective for Andrew, or so it's gotten, you can teach it to where it really intimately knows your operation, and
Right.
it makes it more effective. So and one thing you can do is just ask AI, what do I need to tell you in order for you to be a better tool for me? And
Yeah.
it'll give you a long list of things to tell it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it can teach you a lot. And another thing I do is I just randomly go to YouTube and say, give me some videos to look at on how people are using AI creatively, and
Sure.
you'll see tons of stuff there.
So we do a thing when we hire people called Test Gorilla, which is amazing. You could test people, the webcam's on, so we're hiring coders, for example. We know that they're not cheating, they're not looking stuff up. And one of the cool things that Test Gorilla gives you is a psych profile. So you have a psychological profile, what kind of personality, what motivates them, what doesn't. And then we're putting those, you could put those if you wanted into a GPT. So it understands exactly from a
That's
management.
scary. Kevin,
Yeah.
it is so scary.
It's getting so good. It's getting so good. But for us, it helps because we're like, okay, this person is motivated by money, or this person likes recognition, or this person likes to lead. This person, so it gives us tools to be better managers. And I think at the end of the day, that's, if we can be better, then we gotta try to be better, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, Kevin, just make sure you don't record me and test me, okay? Because you might find out there's a lot of crazy stuff about me.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I got a whole GPT on you, buddy. All right. Well, listen, guys, I wanted to thank you all for jumping on. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about, or are we going to see each other at Vegas? I know, Bill, you might be coming. You're not going, Joe?
I am not coming to Vegas this year. No. We got
I'm not, but like I said, I've got two of my folks are going to be there. I'll tell them look you up.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be on a couple of booths there. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, listen.
All right, guys.
Thanks for jumping in.
Hey, my pleasure.
Was there value in this? Should we get more salespeople to join, or?
Yeah, I wish we had more guys on here. I really would like to. This is one of the sessions I did not want to miss, and I would say if you can go back to everybody and say, hey, we only had a few people there. It was good, but it'd be better if we had more. If you had this thing rescheduled again for next week, I would be there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kev, maybe put something on LinkedIn and Alan and Bill and I can reply to it and
Yeah.
try to get more people to jump on
Yeah,
board.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Great idea. Very cool.
Are you gonna post the recording?
No.
Okay.
The recording is only posted internally in the JETforce.
Okay.
Unless you're a member of the JETforce, you can't access it. So.
Okay.
And Bill, Bill,
Yeah.
he's doing a test on you as well. Just don't let it fool you. He's
I know. I was.
analyzing you.
There's no question because it was really nice to meet you guys. Because trust me, he's not going to have me on the next session.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.